What's going on, everybody? My name is Tenebris Infinite, and with the advent of base building in Generation Zero, things are about to change in probably the most massive way imaginable. We're on the cusp of having so much to do in this game, it's not even funny, my dudes. So today, let's talk about some of the ways we could see base building change things up here in the game, and why they're so freaking awesome. First up is storage options and expansions, because this is probably gonna be huge, my dudes. The days of the mule profile could be far behind us. With base building, we could see either a method of crafting additional storage for the plundra, creating bulk storage for us to keep our supplies at, or, in my opinion, the kind of best case scenario, having segmented different forms of storage so that we can organize things with a little bit more structure. Being able to keep far more crafting materials will help with those full 5C outfits, as those can be really expensive sometimes. But even better, this can benefit base expansion as a whole, and maybe in the future, crafting weapons for us to use against the machines, or even upgrading our own weapons that we're currently using. Being able to store more crafting supplies and just more things in general will be able to kind of raise the bar on how much we need to grind and also what we're putting those resources towards and how beneficial they are for us. Which segues perfectly into the next thing we're going to talk about, crafting. With base building, we can now have the option to build old or possibly brand new crafting stations in the game, and the potential for those crafting stations to be upgradable is pretty spicy, my dudes. Maybe upgrading the bike station could unlock new colors to use, or maybe we could start upgrading our bikes and make them a little bit more useful. Or maybe upgrading the basic crafting bench will produce more resources per craft. Or, even more radical, change the entire clothing crafting system to require various tiers of crafting benches, giving us kind of like a preliminary grind to complete along the way of gathering new schematics and kind of grinding those from rivals. Then there's also the repeatable features, something us longtime players have waited pretty patiently for. We finally have some potentially excellent repeatable activities that could be coming our way. From wave defense to maybe random assaults that we'd have to repair our base from, or maybe gathering NPCs to join us in the resistance and potentially equipping them with weapons that we find along the way, or possibly having more engaging things with NPCs like NPC quests that are specifically from the base. Wave defense itself will be an excellent thing to see in Generation Zero. It'll be a new way to challenge ourselves, and something that's really exciting for me is the way that traps will become useful too. I finally will have a bit of an excuse to get back to trap making here in Generation Zero. And then also, there's the ways that NPCs could be potentially expanded on in the future with base building. I think that this will be the thing to make the NPCs of Generation Zero feel kind of more alive. Even just seeing a few around the world in random places will be huge to making the surviving folks of the game feel a lot more believable. Next is a small thing that might seem a little bit trivial, but trust me, it'll be a welcome addition if it does come to the game. And it's something that I even talked about in a video just a little while back. Sleeping. Now, it would never make much sense to sleep in an abandoned barn or a shot up building or even a bunker that the machines have full access to, but sleeping in a proper kind of established base with resistance fighters on night watch duty, that sounds like a good night's sleep to me. This way, we could finally enjoy those beautiful Generation Zero sunrises and sunsets whenever we want to. Maybe also sleeping could heal us to full health, giving us a quick full health option that we could have at our base. But enough about something that I would like to see. Let's get to some of the things that the community has asked for that base building will now give the opportunity for. Mountable weapons and brand new vehicles. So for wave defense, we now would finally have kind of an excuse in the game and even better, a actual location to set up a mounted LMG, and what better use than fighting off waves of machines? Maybe these could even be craftable, so you could set up like a few of them for you and your friends to blast away with and fight off the machines. I think it would be super fun mowing down waves of machines with like 4 people on LMGs. But there are also other stationary weapons that we could see introduced as well, like maybe a stationary grenade launcher that you could use to like bombard machines from a distance. Kind of all depending on how far the waves spawn, of course. You wouldn't want to accidentally like blow up your base while you're fighting off the waves. But then also another thing too is placing down barbed wire. It's already in the game and damages machines. Now, it's not as much of a weapon that you could actually use, but it still would be pretty awesome to introduce into the wave defense kind of factor. And for vehicles, again, this one's kind of out there, but maybe in the far future we could see like a garage type building that we could use to like build new vehicles at a heavy cost of resources or something. Of course, this one's a little bit more out there, but that also kind of shows how base building is going to be opening up a ton of new opportunities in the game. Now, with the last one, I think it's the most important, at least personally to me. We'll finally have a piece of Oostertorn to really feel is like our own, something that we've actually taken back from the machines ourselves. When we find the hotel in Alpine Unrest, that's already taken back by Anita and the other NPCs. And it's the same for the Molehill too, where it's already kind of established by the other NPCs first. With our own base, we can really get established in the fight in our own way and have kind of like a proper foothold of sorts. But the biggest change this will make is to the game flow. New players will have something really expansive to work towards, and old players will have something brand new and exciting to work towards. Really, in the end, it's kind of a win-win. The cycle of just randomly wandering the map will change to us going to specific locations, either for assignments, missions, general looting, or just to get out of the base and stretch your legs a little bit, and then kind of returning back to the base to stow away the supplies that you gathered, or do something crafty, or just kind of relax away from the machines. And the way we can customize our bases too really interests me. Maybe make a base purely out of tarp buildings, or out of wood, or keep things open format if you're allowed, and just kind of have your storage and basic necessities just walled off. I really can't wait to see how we can personalize things, and what kind of bases the community is going to be coming up with. Of course, if we have the ability to customize our bases in that way. But anyway, man, it's too sick. I still feel like we're in some sort of big April Fool's joke or something like that about this whole base building thing. But I cannot wait till the end of next month, my dudes. But I want to know, what do you hope to see from base building? Is there anything in specific? Are you stoked for base building? And if not, then what the heck is wrong with you? But anyway, for now, I've been Tenebris. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.